Let me ask you something. When you lie down tonight, what position will your body choose? Will you stretch out on your back, arms at your sides, staring at the ceiling? Or will you curl onto your side, the way we instinctively did as children, knees drawn up, one hand tucked under the pillow? Most of us never think about it. We simply fall into whatever position feels comfortable. But what if I told you that this simple, unconscious choice made night after night could be quietly shaping the future of your mind? Not how long you sleep, not how deeply, just the angle of your body while you rest. For decades, sleep research focused on duration and quality. We were told to get 8 hours. We were told to avoid blue light before bed. And all of that matters. But there's a layer beneath all of that, a discovery so recent that most doctors still aren't talking about it. It has to do with a hidden cleaning system inside your brain, one that works only when you sleep and works best in one position above all others. Let me take you inside that world. Imagine a busy city at the end of a long day. The streets are littered with debris, trash, dust, exhaust, the remnants of thousands of activities. Now imagine that every night, while the city sleeps, a fleet of silent cleaning crews emerges. They spray water, sweep the streets, clear the drains, so that when morning comes, everything is fresh and ready again. Your brain operates exactly like that city. During your waking hours, your brain cells are active, firing signals, creating thoughts, processing memories. That activity generates waste microscopic proteins and metabolic debris that need to be cleared away. If that waste builds up, it becomes toxic. It interferes with communication between brain cells. Over time, it contributes to the plaques and tangles that define Alzheimer's disease. For a long time, scientists didn't know how the brain cleared its own waste. Unlike the rest of your body, your brain has no traditional lymphatic system. So how does it get rid of its trash? The answer was discovered only about a decade ago by a neuroscientist named Dr. Maiken Nedergaard. She found that during deep sleep, the brain's glial cells, the support cells that surround neurons, create a network of tiny channels. Through these channels, cerebrospinal fluid flows in waves, flushing waste out of the brain and into the body's circulation, where it can be eliminated. She called it the glymphatic system, a play on the words glial and lymphatic. It was a breakthrough. But then her team asked an even more interesting question. Does the body's position affect this cleaning process? They designed experiments using specialized imaging that could track the flow of fluid through the brains of sleeping animals. They tested 3 positions: on the back, on the stomach, and on the side. The results were stunning. When the subjects slept on their side, the glymphatic system was highly efficient. Fluid moved rapidly through the brain, clearing waste effectively. When they slept on their back, the flow slowed down significantly. And when they slept on their stomach, it was the least efficient of all. Think about the implications. Not one night, not 1 week, but years, decades. Every single night, depending on the position you choose, your brain either gets a thorough wash or it doesn't. Now, this was animal research, and scientists are careful not to overstate the human application. But neurologists and sleep specialists have since begun to ask, could this be one of the reasons sleep disorders and chronic poor sleep are so strongly linked to dementia risk? And could something as simple as sleeping on your side help protect your brain over the long term? I want to share a story with you. A few years ago, I met a man named George. He was 71, a retired high school history teacher. He had that kind of sharp, dry wit that made you want to sit and listen to him for hours. But when I saw him, something was different. He was struggling to find words. He told me he had walked into the grocery store 3 times that week and forgotten what he went for. His father had spent his final years with dementia, and George was terrified he was seeing the same path. We sat down and went through his life diet, exercise, social life, sleep. When I asked how he slept, he laughed and said, "Like a rock, on my back, always have. My wife says I look like I'm in a coffin." He said it with pride, as if sleeping still and flat was a sign of good rest. I told him about the research. I explained that while he was sleeping soundly on his back, his brain's cleaning system might be running at half the speed it could. He was quiet for a long moment. Then he looked at me and said, "So all these years, I've been letting the trash pile up without even knowing it?" We talked about what he could do. He was skeptical. 71 years of back sleeping doesn't change overnight, but he agreed to try. We started with a body pillow. He placed it beside him, and when he lay down, he turned onto his side and hugged the pillow against his chest. That created a physical barrier that made it harder to roll onto his back during the night. His wife agreed to nudge him if she noticed him flat on his back. The first week was rough. He woke up several times a night, feeling awkward and uncomfortable. But by the second week, his body started to adapt. By the third week, he was waking up less often and staying on his side longer. I saw George again a few months later. He walked into the room with a steadiness that hadn't been there before. He told me he still had moments of forgetfulness, but they felt less frequent. He said, "I can't tell you that everything is fixed, but I wake up feeling clearer. And now, I feel like I'm doing something. I'm not just waiting." He paused and added, "My wife says I'm nicer in the mornings too. Like, I think." She's not complaining. That feeling of doing something is powerful because so much of aging can feel like a slow surrender. We lose control over our bodies, our schedules, our independence. But this is something you can choose, starting tonight. It costs nothing. It requires no prescription. It doesn't interfere with any medication or treatment you might already be using. It's simply a change in how you position your body while you sleep. Now, you might be wondering, does it matter which side? And the answer is, for most people, yes. Some research suggests that sleeping on your left side may be even more beneficial than your right. The reason has to do with anatomy. The left side of your body houses the thoracic duct, which is the main channel for lymphatic drainage. When you lie on your left side, gravity helps that duct drain more effectively, which may support the overall clearance of waste from the brain. Additionally, sleeping on your left side can improve circulation to the heart and reduce pressure on the inferior vena cava, the large vein that returns blood from your lower body to your heart. For people with acid reflux, left side sleeping also keeps stomach acid where it belongs. Right side sleeping, on the other hand, can sometimes worsen reflux because of the angle of the esophagus and stomach. But let me be clear, if you're a right side sleeper, don't panic. Right side sleeping is still far better than sleeping on your back. The goal is simply to get off your back. If you can train yourself to sleep on your left side, that's excellent. If you stay on your right side, that's still a massive improvement. And if you switch sides during the night, that's perfectly fine. The worst position by far is sleeping flat on your back. Now, I know some of you are already thinking of reasons why this won't work for you. I have shoulder pain. I have hip pain. I've slept on my back for 60 years. I can't change now. I understand. Change is hard, especially when it comes to something as automatic and unconscious as sleep. But you don't have to become a perfect side sleeper overnight. You don't even have to stay on your side the entire night. The goal is simply to spend more time on your side than on your back. Even a few extra hours on your side each night adds up over months and years. Here's how to make the transition gently. Start tonight. Take a firm pillow, or better yet, a long body pillow, and place it next to you on the bed. When you lie down, turn onto your side and hug that pillow against your chest. This creates a physical barrier that makes it much harder to roll onto your back while you sleep. If you wake up in the middle of the night and find yourself on your back, don't get frustrated. Just gently roll back to your side and reposition the pillow. Over a week or two, your body will begin to accept the new position as normal. If you have shoulder or hip discomfort, there are small adjustments that can help. For shoulder pain, choose a pillow that keeps your neck aligned with your spine, not too high, not too low, and consider placing a soft pillow in front of your chest to support your upper arm. For hip pain, placing a pillow between your knees can keep your pelvis aligned and reduce pressure. If you share a bed with a partner, tell them what you're doing. Ask them to nudge you if they notice you on your back. This can become something you do together, a shared habit that benefits both of you. What about stomach sleepers? This position is actually the least effective for brain clearance. It also places significant strain on your neck, shoulders, and lower back. If you've been a stomach sleeper your whole life, trying to switch directly to side sleeping can feel impossible. Instead, start gradually. Begin by turning your body slightly to one side, with a pillow supporting your chest and another between your knees. Over time, Increase the angle until you're fully on your side. Your body will adapt faster than you think. Now, let's talk about why this information isn't more widely known. If side sleeping is so beneficial, why don't doctors mention it? Why isn't it part of every senior health checklist? There are two reasons. First, this research is still new. The glymphatic system was only identified in 2012, and the studies on sleep position came a few years after that. It takes time for scientific discoveries to make their way into clinical practice and public awareness. Second, many doctors are trained to treat disease after it appears, not to focus on subtle preventive habits. That doesn't make this information less valuable. It makes it more valuable because it gives you something you can act on now without waiting for the medical establishment to catch up. I want to be clear about what this is and what it isn't. Changing your sleep position is not a cure for dementia. It's not a guarantee that you'll never experience cognitive decline. It's one piece of a larger picture that includes diet, physical activity, social connection, and managing conditions like high blood pressure and diabetes. But when you consider that we spend roughly 1/3 of our lives asleep, it becomes obvious that how we spend that time matters. It's like nutrition. One healthy meal won't transform your health, but eating well over years makes a profound difference. Sleep position is the same. It's a small, consistent habit that adds up. Think about the long game. Every night, you have a choice. You can lie on your back, comfortable and familiar, while your brain's cleaning system works at half speed. Or you can shift to your side, give that system the best possible conditions, and wake up knowing you did something to support your brain's health. Not just for tomorrow, but for the years ahead. If you have children or grandchildren, consider what you're modeling for them. They watch how you take care of yourself. They learn from your habits. When you make a small change like this, you're not just helping yourself. You're showing them that aging doesn't have to mean decline, that there are things we can do every day to stay sharp and independent. I want you to pause for a moment and imagine something. Imagine waking up 5 years from now. Imagine looking back and knowing that for all those nights, you chose to sleep in a way that helped your brain clear out waste. Imagine the difference that might make. We can't see the inside of our brains. We can't feel the glymphatic system at work. But that doesn't mean it isn't there, doing its job night after night, depending on the position you choose. This is not about fear. It's not about adding another worry to your already full list. It's about awareness. It's about understanding that something so simple the way you lie down at night can be a form of care you give yourself. A quiet, private ritual that takes no extra time, no extra money, no extra effort beyond a moment of intention before you close your eyes. Tonight, when you turn off the light, I invite you to do something different. Pause. Feel the pillow beneath your head. Notice how your body is lying. If you're on your back, shift to your side. Set up that pillow barrier. Settle in. And as you drift off, let yourself know you're doing something for your brain. You're giving it the best possible chance to clean itself, to prepare for another day of thinking, remembering, loving, living. And if you're willing, come back and share what you notice, not just tomorrow morning, but in the weeks to come. Do you feel more clear-headed? Do you wake up feeling more rested? Has your partner noticed a change? Your experience might be the very thing that encourages someone else to try. Share this with someone you care about, a brother, a sister, an old friend, a parent. Because this is one of those rare pieces of advice that costs nothing, requires no special skill, and can make a real difference over time. The people who love you want you to keep your mind sharp for as long as possible. This is something you can do together. Thank you for staying with me through this. I know it was long, but I wanted you to understand why this matters not just as a tip, but as a practice, something you carry with you into the night. Take care of yourself tonight. Your brain will thank you in the morning.